Let me know if you have a Goyard piece. Would you say it's better, the canvas, than Louis Vuitton canvas, or do you prefer Louis Vuitton? Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you haven't already, please click subscribe on my subscribe button. I would super love that. Thank you so much. Okay, I wanted to talk about today Hermes canvas pieces and whether they are worth it, because my lovely subscriber Julie asked me a question about Hermes canvas and asking whether it's really worth it, because, you know, I spoke about yesterday how Hermes prides itself in their leathers, and they go into so much detail about the different types of leathers that they do, the different finishes. For example, this morning I naturally went on the Hermes website and had a look at the bags they had available, and they had this beautiful Vert Yucca Bolide 25 in Epsom. And when you click on the details of the bag, it actually described the Epsom leather. They said printed leather, takes its name from a town in England. It's fine regular grain obtained through machine printing, has a striking, beautiful, subtle duotone. First appeared in 2004. Small, regular and slightly glossy grain, uniform deep colors, dry with a slight up and down grain, round and firm, changes over time, keeps its shape, scratch resistant. The grain fades in areas exposed to a lot of contact with rubbing. So they go into detail of how it's going to age. They of course have more delicate leathers too, and they'll describe how it's going to age over time. And I think that's good that they describe how it's going to wear, because sometimes if you go on, for example, the Gucci website, it will say leather and it doesn't describe how that leather is going to age. And this details like that, you know, I think that's what makes it luxury. However, when it comes to the canvas pieces, if I go click on the garden party and I go into like the section where it usually describes the leather, they really don't say much about the canvas. And that makes me question, is the canvas from Hermes worth it? Because at the moment they even have these silk bags on their website for $4,000. And you know, I am wearing an Hermes silk today. I will say the color has lasted. This is something I've worn a number of times. I wouldn't say I've completely thrashed it. It is something that, you know, it's good dry clean only. It's a delicate material. It will snag. It's not super durable like Epsom or anything like that. And actually today I've styled it with my little vintage cadena from 2002, which is quite cute. So I just thought I'd try that out today, just to let you know. But yes, okay, so silk as a bag to me would not be worth it, because can you just imagine a little snag on that bag? Like, it's just something for like someone bougie who maybe goes on summer holidays. Although I did get a comment from a subscriber who spoke about how they bought this bag, and yeah, I'm not sure if they're loving it. I know that they just bought it. So if you are that person who bought this bag, let me know. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think that it warrants this price point? Because there are most certainly a lot of really delicate bags out there that are still high quality, but they're, you know, things that you might have to look after a little bit more gently. Then you've got the garden party, which is an everyday canvas tote. So what is this canvas worth it? Because it can look rather boring in the garden party. I know that on the website at the moment they have this like cool funky printed circus one, which like unpopular opinion, but I actually like that one. But it's like a big like travel bag, and they also have one with a bear on it, which is just hilarious. But they are, you know, not cheap at all. And as I said, they don't really go into much detail about the canvas. So I have Hermes canvas bag here, the HERBAG in, this is called the Chris Viking canvas. So it has this more woven detail on it comparing to the garden party canvas, and it's very thick. So if you compare it to Louis Vuitton canvas, for example, it feels much thicker and it doesn't have that coated finish. I will say though, I didn't know whether this would be water resistant, so this morning I put water on it purposely to see how it would react, and it does bead into little balls, and then you can brush it off. So it's similar to if you've had a Burberry trench coat. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but cotton gabardine, it has a very similar characteristic. So characteristic where it can make water just bead up on it and you can brush it off. If you submerge it in water, it will get very wet, but with like a light rain, you can just brush it off and it just becomes dry. So it's not gonna absorb water. And this bag, it has a similar technology in it where it won't absorb water unless you like dunk it in the water, but when it's raining, you can brush it off, which it's nice. It's nice. I've had this bag for a few years now. I've worn it quite a lot, yeah, and it's really good. I mean, maybe I don't wear it every day to tell, but the canvas, it's very solid. Even, I don't know, there's not even really any marks on it, which is weird. Maybe because I'm quite careful with my bags. But as I said, it feels very thick compared to Louis Vuitton. It depends. Louis Vuitton canvas varies so much, especially throughout the years. You guys would know who are Louis Vuitton collectors. If you get like, you know, something before, I don't know, 2005, sometimes you might find the canvas is very thick and robust, even like pieces from the early 90s. I haven't had this bag from like 1998. It was a little croissant bag, and that canvas was so thick, and it had the same kind of like substance to something like this thickness. Like it was very hard. And the thing with Louis Vuitton canvas is it has like a coated finish, so that would actually never absorb water. Like you could dunk that in water, it would probably be okay. I still wouldn't do it though, because usually it has leather trim, which would affect the leather, but especially Vachetta. But yeah, I would say this is still as worth it as Louis Vuitton canvas. And the thing that makes this a bit better is that with Louis Vuitton canvas, it chips over time. Like now, this is quite hard to do, but for example, like my key clay, this is a canvas, it's more of a flexible canvas. This is more modern day canvas. It does start like the little flower starts chipping on the corner and it starts like scratching off. So that might be a con for you if you're going to be really nitpicky about it. My main problem with the Louis Vuitton is the inconsistent stitching and the hardware is not good. Like I don't like the hardware. I think it's just not the best, but the coated canvas, you can have them for many years if you look after it. It all depends on the style that you get. For me, it's been hit and miss. I will say that the multi-pochette I had, I feel like the stitching was very wavy. This cadenna is not working. This is like full on falling off. But anyways, I digress. So what was I saying? So the canvas on my multi-pochette was very wavy, and I don't know why that was. And that's what made me not like Louis Vuitton as much. Also, I had a favorite. Well, no, it wasn't a favorite. It was a Felici pochette, and the corners of that started to curl upwards. So sometimes if it's a Louis Vuitton piece where it has leather stuck on the back and then it's canvas stuck on the front, what happens is the canvas on the front will shrink and cause it to curl, and then the leather just stays the same. So that's what I don't like about some Louis Vuitton pieces, is the curling, which I mentioned in my previous video. But I mean, Louis Vuitton canvas, it is very reliable for most people. They can thrash it, they can, you know, get it wet, they can, it's actually more light compared to a leather, so it's very practical. It's easy to wipe down. So there's that. But the life expectancy of some canvas pieces isn't going to be as long as a good quality leather piece. And that is why Louis Vuitton sales associates as well, like they definitely try and upsell you with the leather, but they see that with after sales and all that, canvas pieces will come back faster than leather pieces, because leather, it just, you know, it won't crack like canvas. Once canvas cracks, you can't really repair it. And it also has a different kind of feel to it. Now, if you think about other brands that do canvas, I'm not saying Louis Vuitton canvas is not worth it. I think there are benefits of it for absolutely, and also the fact that it's kind of like what you identify as Louis Vuitton. I think most people buy the canvas because they think that's what represents Louis Vuitton, and as a collector, it is super iconic. So it's not even just the fact that it's, you know, some coated canvas, it's iconic. So compared to like canvas from Hermes, I wouldn't say that's as like iconic, because usually it tends to be plain, or it's that like Chris Viking canvas, or it could be like some random print stuck on the bag, which, you know, doesn't have the same nostalgia to someone as like a coated monogram canvas. But a lot of other brands do monogram canvas as well, and you'll find that the feel of the canvases vary quite a lot. One of my friends has the Goyard Mini Anu tote, and I do wonder whether that canvas is worth it, because I've heard people say Goyard is overrated, the quality is hit and miss, but my friend who has the Mini Anu tote says that it feels better than Louis Vuitton canvas. It's a little bit more flexible, and she thinks it's better quality than Louis Vuitton. So I know that there's a lot of people more interested in Goyard, especially recently. I think it's trending more so than ever, perhaps because it's a little bit more exclusive as well. Like, we don't have a Goyard in Australia, and they do a lot of really practical styles similar to Louis Vuitton, like tote bags and all that. And their canvases come in, yeah, it's a monogram in a way, like it's, you know, very recognizable. But the colors that they have are, yeah, quite unique, like the green, the red, the yellow. So there's Goyard as well, which I personally don't have any experience with. So I would actually love one day to have a Goyard piece. I actually really like the Mini Anu tote. I think that's really nice. But I know the hobo bag has been quite popular as well. So let me know if you have a Goyard piece. Would you say it's better, the canvas, than Louis Vuitton canvas, or do you prefer Louis Vuitton? Because I'd be curious by that for sure. If you look at another brand like Burberry, I know Burberry is not really known for their bags. They're trying to be, but they are definitely, if you go to Burberry, buy the cashmere scarves, guys. They are totally worth it. Or trench coat is iconic as well. But they do have a few coated canvas pieces as well in their iconic check print. So they have a little bowling bag, which is similar to a Speedy, but it's actually much more affordable than a Speedy. It's about 18 centimeters as well. And then they have their note bag, which is super popular, like one of the most popular bags at Burberry, which they've expanded the line. They've done a top handle version. They've done, like, there's like a smaller version. And there's a few colors as well. Now, these bags, you'd think, oh, are they leather? No, it's actually a coated canvas. And I find the coated canvas on these pieces, it feels very similar to Louis Vuitton, but they trim it with not vachetta. It's like in a calf skin. And yeah, I would say that the quality, it's about, I would say it's like on par with Louis Vuitton, maybe a little less, not as good as Louis Vuitton actually. It's kind of like a weird in between, but they're newer bags, like the night bag, there's a rocking horse bag. They are trying to focus more on the leather with those, and you can see they have more of a natural grain to them. They're trying to use higher quality hardware as well. So they are shifting a little bit. I still think that they haven't got their designs right, to be honest, but they are trying to go down a more like leather route, whereas before they were focusing more on that check print, which was just like very easy to convince people to buy, because that's what people associate with Burberry, is that check. Just as people associate with Louis Vuitton this LV pattern, it's like what they're known for. So they are always trying to steer away from that, but I feel like they have to actually focus on that more. I feel like they actually have to focus on that more and perfect it more, because the note bag, it's not perfect. The quality is not great. If they perfected that design and made it higher quality, I think that could put Burberry in a better direction to how they are now. But anyways, that's a different topic. And then when you think of like brands like Celine, you know, Eddie bought into Celine more of this like monogram canvas similar to Louis Vuitton, but they've got it in the Triomphe canvas. And from what I've heard, they're quite good. I don't have any experience with that canvas either. So if you own a Celine bag, let me know. Is that canvas worth it? But I have felt the canvas and the quality, and to me it actually feels better than Louis Vuitton. But yeah, because I had a similar like Speedy bag and I thought it actually felt pretty good quality. I know that the texture of it is a little bit different as well. I think it's more like a Saffiano kind of print kind of thing, whereas the Louis Vuitton, it's more like a pebbly print. Yeah, so there's that. Let me know, do you have canvas bags from other brands, and do you think that they're worth it? Have they been wearing well? And how do you, like, if you own any Hermes canvas bags, what would you suggest to Julia? Do you think that they're worth it? I think that my HERBAG feels super good quality. Like, the leather on the top also feels really robust. The hardware feels super substantial, and it feels like a good quality bag. So it is expensive, but for a canvas piece, it does feel worth it to me. I'll talk to you guys on my next video. Bye!